Welcome, I'm Darren, and I'll be your guide today as I rank the draft pick rookie cards from 1991. The 1991 draft pick rookie collection it's kind of disappointing because in 1990 we saw a lot of optimism, a lot of opportunity to really explore in 91, and unfortunately card companies kind of scaled back a little bit. It's kind of strange to think about because, like, for instance, in Score in 1989 they made a football draft pick rookie card set that basically launched draft pick rookies, and in 1990 they had another great one. 91, they didn't. And you would expect for there to be a big explosion of these cards, and there wasn't very many. In fact, putting this set together, this video together of all of these different cards, I was surprised at how few there were, so I couldn't do a best of and a worst of. Basically, most of the draft pick rookie cards for 1991 were either the college player shots or just regular player shots with some little rookie logo somewhere. That was pretty much what we had. So the cards, some of the cards did look really good because I mentioned about the disappointment of Score not having a draft pick card. They actually did have draft pick cards. They just didn't have a card to really celebrate the early phase of the draft. So there was no card that celebrated the draft. It was just rookie cards of players in their college uniforms. Most of the cards were that way. So there are some really good cards that are basically just rookie cards in a good looking card set. That's pretty much what they had in 1991. So I broke down a very small list because this is the list of cards that were actually done up for the draft pick rookies. And it starts off with ironically enough, a scorecard that does celebrate the draft pick rookies. It's in baseball. And this shows just how disappointing it is that they didn't do it in football, because this card really sucks. I mean, it is not a good card. I'm kind of surprised that they made a card that was this bad, and yet at the same time, I remember the card from the time. I mean, I kind of remember it, and it was exciting. The thing is that at this time, you were pulling these cards out of bins. You were discovering these cards from randomness, and the flashiness of the card is what made it work. The problem is, once you get past that flashiness, that immediate, whoa, hey, look at that. Once you get past that, there's not much left for this card. So, unfortunately, the card was designed for a very specific purpose at a very specific time for kids of a very specific age, and it's not designed for anybody else. So, yeah, this is definitely the bottom of the list. But it is a pretty big jump up to the next one, which is Pinnacle, and specifically football, because they didn't do a set in baseball, and in hockey, they're actually not draft pick rookies. They are rookies from the farm system. So for actual true draft pick rookies, the Pinnacle set is only the football set works for this. And there's not anything really special about it. It's basically the same card as the veteran cards. It's just done with a green border. And that's why I'm distinguishing this, because the card is very different from the rest of the cards in the set. Unlike Score, where every 110 cards, they just had a different colored border. So since most of the draft pick rookies happened at the end of the set, they kind of have their own border color. Here, this is a card that is changed for the rookies, and it does look different. And if you're looking in terms of just the set, these cards actually don't look that bad, because you have all these cards, and then there's a change over to the draft picks. Okay, I don't mind that. That's pretty good. But why did they have to go with this green? It's not a good green color. So that's the drawback of it. So otherwise, it is good, but it's only good because the Pinnacle card design is good. It's not good because of the color. Oh well. But Pro Set, this is my next one. So we're going from 5 to 4. And at number 4, I have Pro Set Football. And this is an interesting one where this is basically kind of like the veteran cards. The only difference is that down at the bottom, they have an interesting little logo with gold with the draft pick number. Or excuse me, the number from the round that he was selected in. And that's why I have this card on the list, because it actually does specify the round that he was drafted in, which I think that's a really good thing that was very rarely done. It helps you to get kind of a feel for the nature of what this player is what is expected of this player. Essentially, if you're picked in the first round, you're expected to be a starter. and you're probably going to be a star. That doesn't mean you are. In fact, most of the first rounders don't become stars, but that's the level of expectation. If you're in the first round, you should be one of the mainstays of your team. If you're selected in the second round, you're a great prospect. You should become a starter, but you may become a star. Third round, you're probably going to be a star if you're at some highly underappreciated position. Essentially, that's where you're picking up a lot of offensive linemen and defensive backs. They're kind of popping up because they don't have the big flashy jobs. So when you look at these cards and you see the round that they're on, it's a nice litmus test in order to help you to get a feel for how good they should be, or because at the time, that's kind of what you're thinking is you're looking, I'm going, do I care about this player or not? But the reason I have it on the list is mainly because when you look back and you see what round the player was selected in, it helps you to appreciate either how hard they worked or how underappreciated they were. And so that I really wish that the round was used on cards more often. So I got it on here because, look, it is 1991 Pro Set. It's a really good looking card. But two, I love the fact that they have the round on it. So great. But there's a big shift from the bottom three to the top three of this group, because these cards are all, they're all cards that are just kind of churned through. They're either poorly designed or they're not very well designed, which, for better or for worse. But when we move up to number 3, we're moving up to NBA Hoops. And here we're at a card that really is a celebration. And it's a celebration in a good way. The card is designed to be really flashy, really exciting, and very, very, very period. I mean, this is very much an early 90s pop art design. That's kind of what they went with. The card, I think, looks really impressive. It's a lot of fun. It's very flashy, very exciting. And the card image, or the player image, is a great image on the card. Plus, notice that they actually have the draft pick on there too. Not just the round, but they actually specify the specific pick because it's only the first portion of the first round. But this card design is supposed to look at the first couple of players in the draft and be really excited about it, and that's what the card does. I don't think it's a great complete design. That's the drawback, but the picture is great and it is really bold and exciting, so cool. I think that the Skybox card design is better because it is a complete card design. That's the key. In this case, they have a picture of a player, and then behind they do the Skybox effect of having the draft logo behind, which is really cool. And they have almost a pastel color treatment for the colors on it, which make this card look great. There's a 3D effect. I mean, the whole way the card design is done is one of the great draft pick rookie card designs of all time, except for the fact that it's a little bit too overpowering and the images of the players kind of get lost in it. That's the only drawback. So when you look at it and you're focused on it, it's great. The rest of the time, it kind of falls back. I love the pictures of the players on the NBA Hoops card. Even though the card is kind of clunky, I think that it's a much stronger card in terms of really presenting the player, and I love that. But I do happen to love the integrated quality of the Skybox card. So I do think that I want to put the Skybox card ahead. I think it's a better card overall, not as dynamic. I also would love for them to have put the draft pick on the front. It's only on the card back, which it's good that it's there, but it would have been nice to have it on the card front. Otherwise, quite good. But there was one card design of 1991 that I think was absolutely spectacular. And that was Upper Deck, but it was not Upper Deck Football. The Upper Deck Football cards, to me, this is a huge missed opportunity. Now, they have the rookie logo on it, which is okay, it's there, but the players are all in their college uniforms. That's it. There's nothing that they do. And with Upper Deck, the way that they were starting these sets in football and in basketball was they were starting off with the draft pick rookies. So it was about getting excited. And you start your card set off with a bunch of college players. It really sucked, just flat out. They blew it. But there was also nothing special about the cards. This is just like all those other cards. There's a little rookie something and then a college player shot. This doesn't even count as a draft pick rookie. But basketball started its card set off with some great, great shots. Now, the card design is the same as the veterans. It just has a little rookie logo down there, but it does have the NBA draft logo, which looks great. But for so many of the rookies in this set, they're portraits. They're gorgeous portrait shots. So when you start looking through the set, what you see are great shots of players that really are about getting excited about the upcoming season. So this really is a rookie draft pick card set that comes through beautifully. I love it. I think it's gorgeous, and I think it is an all-time, borderline all-time great card design for draft pick rookies. It's one of the few cases where I look and I say, they looked at the 1990 card set and they said, I can do it better. In this case, they really did. And for Upper Deck, the basketball set was an unusually good card set for Upper Deck. So it's not a complete surprise, but the fact that it was the Upper Deck set that actually had the best card design for the draft pick rookies, that is a surprise. So excellent. But again, I really do feel that the whole hobby missed the mark for the opportunity of making these cards, because how is this the entire collection of draft pick rookies? I don't know. But at any rate, there's the ranking of all of them. And yeah, definitely let me know in the comments below about your views on this. I think this is about as straightforward as it gets. I don't think there's going to be much of an argument, especially with the bottom and the top. But yeah, definitely let me know your takes on it. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Check out my other videos, and thank you very much for watching.